Today, I want to talk about one of my core philosophies when it comes to marketing: consistency. Welcome to the Marketing with Marta podcast, where small business owners learn how to simplify digital marketing and start showing up consistently. Make sure you don't miss out on any of our other tips and how to's by subscribing to our newsletter at studiomovellan.com. Have you ever followed a business on Instagram, loved their content, then clicked over to their website and thought, is this even the same company? That disconnect is what we're going to fix today. So, first, consistency builds trust. When people see the same brand voice and visuals across all platforms, it signals professionalism and reliability. Inconsistency does the opposite. It confuses people and makes them question if they can rely on you. Now, for an example, I have a really unique name. Not many people are A, called Marta, or B, have a surname like Movellan. So when someone looks me up, they're more likely to come across my actual platform. However, if your name is Jane Smith or something like that, that's going to be a much harder thing to specify if they're getting the right Jane Smith. Second, it improves recognition. Think about brands you instantly recognize: Apple, Nike, Starbucks, Target. Their colors and fonts and even the way they talk in their ads or online is the same everywhere. Small businesses can apply the same principle, just on a smaller scale. And third, you want consistency because it strengthens authority. If your brand is polished and cohesive, you're more positioned as an expert in your field, even before someone reads your bio or your sales page. So I once worked with a client whose Instagram was playful and colorful and fun, but their website kind of looked like a bland corporate brochure. And they didn't even use the primary keyword for their business in any of their platform bios or texts. So once we aligned their messaging and their visuals, their audience engagement nearly doubled because people finally felt they were interacting with the same brand wherever they showed up. Now, this is something that I feel very strongly with because we live in a digital world. It's not just that you're coming across someone's business card or an ad in a magazine. In the digital world, everything is more integrated. So if you search something, you're going to have their website, their LinkedIn, their Instagram, anything else they've worked on that's in the digital sphere. It's all going to show up together. So you want all of that to match. Now, there are two components to brand consistency. There is your voice and your visual. And so your brand voice is the personality behind your words, everything you put out there. So all of your captions, all of the text on your website, all of your presentations. Is your tone more casual and chatty? Are you polished and professional? Are you more of a jokester, or do you like writing in a longer storytelling form? None of these are right or wrong. I'm just saying they have to be consistent. And also in your messaging, you want to make sure you're reiterating your core values. Repetition isn't boring. It's actually what makes your brand memorable. Think about Nike. I don't think they've ever changed saying just do it. The second component is your visual branding. So visual branding is all the visuals, obviously, of your brand. So your colors, your fonts, your photography, your style, your logo, design elements. And this, I find, is where people really tend to struggle the most because it's tempting to experiment, especially if you have Canva or Instagram edits or you're working with CapCut. Like, it's fun. But you do want to be recognizable. So you do want to have some kind of consistency with your visuals. The most important thing to me is the same profile picture or logo across all of your platforms. You don't want to have a dated photo in one, an updated photo in another, your brand logo as another one. You're not going to get that sense of cohesiveness that is really important for a business. Now, you can play around with color palette, but make sure you have at least locked down one or two primary brand colors that you're really using consistently. And then you can have secondary colors as well. And then I think obviously using templates is great. It saves you time, but it does help you repeat your brand look more frequently. So when your audience sees one of their posts, they should know it's you before they even read the caption. And again, to reiterate, this applies across the board. You want this on your Instagram feed, your website banners, your email newsletters, even printed business cards. So again, a few things to keep in mind that I see as common mistakes: changing your brand colors and fonts every time you post because you're bored, writing in different voices like casual on Instagram, overly formal on your website, etc. The biggest one I see is forgetting to update your old platforms. So maybe your Facebook page isn't your primary social platform for your business anymore, and you just kind of let it fall by the wayside. So it has your old logo, your old website, out of date hours. This is still going to come up in your search results. So you want to make sure you either take it down or you keep it updated consistently just for the presence. And if Facebook is that example, I do suggest you keep it updated, because if you're running any kind of ads, you do need to keep your Facebook page live for your business. These kind of things might feel small, but collectively they can make your business seem like it doesn't have it all together. So how do you stay consistent? First, create a brand style guide. It doesn't have to be a massive document that's graphic design and any of that. If you use Canva, you can actually create a brand kit as part of the pro version that you can share with your team and consultants, and you can put all your assets in that. If not, a one pager with your fonts, your colors, your tone of voice, your logo variations, etc. is going to be perfect. But you do want to make sure it's something that you can share with others, because as your business scales and grows, or you use external consultants, you want that to be easily accessible to people so there's no room for error. Second, as I mentioned before, you want to develop templates. It saves time, so important as a small business owner. If you're struggling with the starting out point for some kind of email graphic, you can just search that in Canva templates and find one that suits your visual branding best and then tweak it to your business. And then third, schedule quarterly audits. Now, this is something that I reiterate to all of my clients and myself. I block out a time in my calendar every 3 months, and I run through my giant checklist of everything on my website, my social media, my Google business, my email newsletter, to make sure everything still aligns with my brand voice and visuals. I'm going to share my social media checklist with you all that you can download and use for yourself. It'll be in the show notes, but it's a huge, huge thing because it helps you remember those platforms you may have neglected. Things can change in your business on a whim, and it's just a good idea to keep things up. But you want to make sure you put that accountability for yourself to check it frequently so that those types of things don't happen. So your action step for this week is to do a quick audit. Look at your website, your Instagram, your email, your business card. Do they all sound and look like the same brand? And if not, start small. Make sure you're aligning your voice, you're updating your colors and your fonts, and you are creating your style guide that you can share with others in your company and consultants. So, as a reminder, my social media audit checklist will be available for download in the show notes. And as a final thought, if you want your audience to remember you, you have to show up in the same way everywhere. Thanks for listening to Marketing with Marta. If you like this episode, please be sure to rate, review, and give us a follow. It helps more small business owners learn how to show up consistently and grow their digital presence.